last time on Star Trek Resurgence.
I feel like I've let you down.
I brought you here for a reason. I'm still sure it was the right one.
I felt this way before that, Carter. I like you. And I think there could be something more for us.
Take readings, run some additional diagnostic checks, and we'll get to the bottom of this.
Quite logical, Petty Officer Diaz. Thank you. The prospect for peace may very well depend on it.
Star Wars music. Oh my god! Damn it! Oh. Dr. Jones? Dr. Jones, Dr. Jones. Hey, Dr. Jones.
Mr. Diaz, I understand you have already discussed the warp drive failure with Ambassador Spock?
I have.
It is imperative that the Ambassador's shuttle be flight ready. I need you both to ascertain the root cause of the system failures he encountered.
I'm surprised, Commander. I thought you would have wanted to work
McCoy.
on Ambassador Spock's shuttle yourself.
I respect the Ambassador and his many accomplishments, but I do not derive any satisfaction from interacting with his shuttle as if it were somehow transubstantiated through its association with him. Especially when I have the entirety of this starship to concern myself with. I am not the chief engineer of this shuttlecraft.
The Ambassador asked me to take a look, and I'm ready to crack this thing open.
Good. You could learn from Mr. Diaz's focus.
I'll take notes.
Then I will leave you to it. Make note of any abnormalities in your report. Carry on.
It seems like he's warming up to us.
Yeah.
So much easier to play that dude.
Even Chovak has to look at that face and know you've earned some real respect. And I have to admit that I owe you one. You were right to make me go first. I don't know what I was thinking.
You've pulled me out of trouble how many times? Call it even.
Okay. At the very least, maybe I can track down that bottle of Saurian brandy you're still on the hook for. But first, we have work to do.
Where did that thing came from? What the heck?
Ready to go?
All set. Let's run the diagnostic.
Out of nowhere. I don't know how that's in English, but in German it is: Wo sind all die kleinen Lebensformen? Oh, look at his hand. I can't click it. Wait. Oop. I'm clicking something.
So, I know about your talk with Miranda.
You do?
She sent me a Priority 1 dispatch right after your conversation. Yes or no, that's one thing. But I can't believe you said you needed to think about it.
Yeah,
I did need to think about it.
yeah.
Well, you can't leave this unsettled. It's not fair to her.
But
She was direct with you. Didn't play games. Neither should you.
I don't want to do that. What is that?
Well, honestly, I was worried you wouldn't approve of, fraternization with...
Don't make this about me. You can see where this goes between you two, or you can stay friends. But don't screw this up.
Oh.
I like my friends, and I like our group.
Oh.
I don't want to lose that.
She's already breaking the group.
Is that thing done yet?
Yeah, it's wrapping up. Let's see. The relays along the primary EPS are blown.
Nothing will be like it was.
Attacked.
An EPS overload from the warp drive could cause that. But how did the shuttle end up dead in the water?
Huh. Well, maybe the ship's data recorder can tell us something.
By the way, Avatar, we just started the new episode in Star Trek Online right before this here. Also, well done. Great job. Beep, beep. Sing again.
Here.
They were only about 8 minutes from their plotted warp point.
Data recorder,
No
aka
faults,
YouTube.
just those warnings. What are they?
The warp field became inverted suddenly.
I've seen this happen when the center warp coil cracks.
A cracked warp coil throws a fault code.
Still, we should take a look.
There was a complete warp cascade failure.
Wow. They're lucky the shuttle didn't turn inside out.
Makes me think the computer panicked on the warp field equation. Subspace variance out of tolerance. What does that mean?
It means the main navigation array lost sight of space somehow.
Would the array going offline cause that?
Yes, but it should have also thrown a fault code. Any one of these failures should have thrown a fault.
If it was caused by a system failure.
None of this caused the relays to blow. Roll forward to when that happened.
Yes, ma'am.
So here, they take a moment to get their bearings and they attempt to re-engage the warp drive.
There. That's the relays blowing.
And look, there's another warp system alert.
They're all the same. Subspace variance out of tolerance, or warp inversions. Finally, there's a complete warp cascade failure.
Then it's one of two things. Either a warp coil is cracked or the navigation array is offline.
That makes sense.
Divide and conquer. You want to check the warp coils or the navigation array? I'll check the other. Let's not overcomplicate this. One of these systems is likely broken.
I'll check the nacelles for a cracked coil.
Your tricorder can record and analyze data. Looking through it will reveal the unseen. Use X to equip or HOSA your tricorder. Hold RT to scan glowing objects. You must be close to some objects to scan them. Watch the frame of the screen to see if you are too far away. Oh boy, what the heck? Some objects you scan will activate a deep scan. During a deep scan, use LB and RB to switch between different scan modes and search for glowing objects. The mode indicators on the tricorder will blink if there is an object to find in that mode. When you have scanned all objects, the frame will change color. Hold LT to analyze the data and finish the scan. Okay, so what are we going to do here? Scanning. 1 out of 3, okay. Scanning. All anomalies are scanned. Wait, LT to complete scan. Ah, yeah, okay.
I checked every coil on the port nacelle for imbalances. If any coil in either engine were cracked, I would have detected it. So, it must be the navigation array.
Except it's not. Checked and double-checked.
Well, the readings don't lie.
Here comes the security detail for the way team.
Uh-oh. Hello! Shoot. Oh god, no, go away!
Going planet side?
Yep, as soon as the negotiating team comes down from the bridge. And you've got your hands full, opening every compartment on this shuttle. I hope you're not just trying to keep busy to avoid thinking about some other things. I'm not trying to put you on the spot. And lucky for you, I've got a ride to catch.
Ah, come on, let's do it!
I'm actually done thinking about it.
Not her!
I've made up my mind.
You have?
Hey, Maris. Aren't these those button pushers you're always hanging out with?
And you're the phaser jockeys we always beat in Parisi squares, right?
All aboard for Hotari.
That is another one of the captain's railroad things.
Gotta be. I just
Damn
usually
it.
zone out by the time he gets to the whole,
Too many people
steam
on that ship.
engines were the warp drives of their day part. Catch y'all later.
Yeah, I'm such a smart ass.
You don't want to miss your train.
Sorry.
I do have to go.
Bye-bye.
So, you said you made up your mind. You have something you want to say to me? The train is leaving the station. I'd like to know what I'm coming back to. That was
Peggy
nice.
18! Peggy 18!
It was.
Save some of that for when I get back.
You've got a deal.
Be seeing you.
Call me Scarface. She will die, I know.
It's Diaz. If you could float back down to reality, we still have a ways to go. All right, where were we?
So, the warp coils in the navigation array are fine, but the nav computer doesn't seem to think so.
I'm out of ideas short of field stripping the shuttle from bow to stern.
You wanna take this out of the shuttle and throw it on the bench?
Oh, real hands-on maintenance. I like it. Okay, the nav computer is patched into the ship.
The ship's computer can double-check our work. If the shuttle's nav computer is putting out false data, we'll know it.
Let's run through the shuttle's logs again.
Running now.
Oh boy. Say, oh god. My best friend once said, after a lot of failed romance attempts in real life, and this is not my quote, this is his quote: "You don't poop where you eat." Ah. Oh boy.
Same. Warp field inversion and a cascade failure. However, the Resolute computer doesn't show the same subspace variance.
We're in the same conditions that the shuttle was in when it failed. Why wouldn't the ship's computer get a matching result?
What if the subspace variance was a momentary occurrence?
That's a possibility, and it would explain why the simulation under our current sensor readings failed to reproduce the issue.
But a subspace anomaly strong enough to cause a warp field collapse would leave graviton ripples for days.
Let's run with the momentary subspace variance theory for now. Roll forward to the shuttle's attempt to re-engage the warp drive. We need the conditions of space around the shuttle at the moment of warp failure.
Resuming simulation.
That's not the thing, Wiz. The thing is, what if it's not the case anymore? That it's your partner? That's what I have experienced in my life. I don't want that anymore. Yeah.
Error in warp field calculation. Cochrane formula variables are out of range.
That right there. Take the shuttle sensor data from that moment.
Computer, why did the warp field calculation fail?
Warp field pressure returned non-orthogonal. Results are undefined.
That doesn't help.
Wait, what if we use a different ship?
Put the Resolute into the simulation instead of the shuttle.
Yeah, it should warp just fine. Unless... Computer, run the simulation with the Resolute.
Resolute simulated.
Computer, give me manual control on the warp power.
Static field intensity, warp 1.1. 1.2. 3. Warp pressure is destabilizing. Error in warp field calculation. The warp drive has experienced a system-wide cascade failure. Warp field collapsed. Subspace variance is out of tolerance. Cochrane formula results are undefined.
Bingo.
What-o?
The same moment when the shuttle failed to warp, so did the ship. Whatever happened to the shuttle just happened to us. the Resolute will not sustain warp.
We can't leave Hotari space.
Oh, what's that? Seat of power?
Ambassador Spock, Captain Solana, welcome to Hotari. We are honored you've come. My name is Tylos Altaris, Minister of Diplomatic Affairs.
The honor is ours, and this is Commander Jara Rydick, first officer aboard the USS Resolute. You'll find she has a keen mind, and unique insight into the dynamics between the Hotari and the Lydians.
We are honored to be here as representatives of the Federation.
I'm so glad.
These must be the representatives of the mighty Federation, the reigning authority in the galaxy. Or so we've been led to believe. Whether that's true or not remains to be seen.
Uh-oh.
But either way, we're grateful you've made the time to come to our little corner of the universe.
And you are?
This is Galvin, and this is Citron, the heroes of the revolt in the mines.
Oh my god, cat people.
Let's hope this is the last time we ever have to come here.
If you'll excuse me.
Yeah, I don't know, that was the first thought. They're looking like they have cat hairs.
Did you hear the arrogance from that guy? I don't know what we're walking into here, but that guy was something.
Something about his tone tells me this won't be easy.
That was my sense as well.
I doubt he speaks for all of Hotari, so I would urge patience until we speak with their queen.
A queen! Do I need to choose what I do?
Ambassador Spock, welcome to Hotari Prime.
The honor is mine, Your Majesty.
That the Federation would send one of their most respected representatives is not only an honor to the Hotari people and their queen, but a recognition of our stature and importance.
Let's get on with it, shall we? With all due respect to the Federation and their ambassador, they have no authority here. We are not members of their alliance. We are not subject to their rule, nor yours.
Take out your
demand
phaser.
the immediate return of all mining operations
Phaser.
to Lydian control, as it has been
Headshot.
for centuries and will be for centuries more. That has always been our understanding.
That
Right between the
understanding
eyes.
has changed.
Then you invite war.
And if you cannot remain silent, you will be silenced.
Ooh.
But his point is well taken. What is the Federation's interest in this matter? Perhaps you would have us trade one oppressor for another?
The Federation remains neutral. Our only interest is the peaceful resolution of this conflict.
God, I
We're
need to
here at
listen.
your request, Your Majesty.
Oh.
For now.
Saying this wouldn't be easy was an understatement.
Psst. Damn it.
I thought they wanted us here.
Was there something you wanted to say, Captain?
Oh, no. My apologies.
And what about the Kobliad?
She's not part
She
of...
can speak for herself, can't she? Then let her.
Oh god. Oh, don't make me do this.
Now then, what is your name?
Commander Jara Rydek, Your Majesty.
Being a Kobliad, you would know better than anyone. Your people suffered brutal treatment at the hands of the Cardassians.
Ooh.
Their injustice towards the Kobliad is as unimaginable as it is unforgivable.
Oui, okay.
Not unlike how we have been treated by the Alidians.
As much as they'd have you believe they are the victims here, remember it was the Hotari who attacked us. Hundreds of innocent Alidians were slaughtered without mercy in those mines.
The blood is on their hands, not ours.
Quiet! If after all the Kobliad suffered, you finally had the chance to right that wrong, to get out from under their control, would you take it?
Oh.
Would you negotiate a peace?
What the silence?
I can't speculate on something that never happened, Your Majesty. Sadly, that opportunity never came for the Kobliad.
No, it did not. But we'd be wise to learn from their example, before we too find ourselves facing extinction. The Federation is the most powerful, most advanced alliance in the galaxy. It's widely known we have an abundance of dilithium in our mines. And it's in your interest to secure a steady supply.
Yeah, she's really dragging us in there.
Ambassador Spock
Damn
will
it.
have us believe you're here as a neutral party in the interest of peace. So why are you really here? I want the truth, not your Federation rhetoric.
As Ambassador Spock has said, we've come seeking a peaceful resolution to this conflict, and have no interest in your dilithium.
I'm not nearly as naive as you must think. The Federation has done business with the Alidians for decades, which makes me question your motives.
What they haven't said, but cannot deny, is a simple truth. The dilithium trade would not and will no longer exist without Alidian involvement. We created it for the benefit of everyone, especially the Hotari. We've given them warp technology. We've let them share in the profits. We've made their lives infinitely better than before dilithium was discovered. All of that goes away if the Federation turns a blind eye to their treachery.
That is enough of your lies! The Hotari are quite capable of running the mines. We've done so for centuries. So tell me, who deserves control of the dilithium trade and the mines on Tau?
What?
Who should the Federation recognize? The Hotari or the Alidians?
What?
Can only be one or the other.
What? There's what? Oh my, what? Why are you doing this? Ah, the game. Oh my god. Ah. Okay. Heads, Hotari, tails, Ilidian, okay? It's like, what are we going to do? I don't know. Let's go. IRL politics. And it is What is it? It's heads. What I said? Hotari, right? Oh god. Okay, here we go. Oh, shoot!
Not both.
If I have to choose only one, then it would have to be the Hotari.
Oh god.
Well said. How could the just and wise Federation make any other choice?
This is an outrage. The Federation has lost all credibility.
The mines are ours. Lydia will not be deterred. We will take back our mines by any means necessary.
Then you will see more blood spilled.
I am more than willing to address your concerns.
Oh god.
Yours as well, Representative.
Oh.
But I suggest we could have a more productive conversation with a smaller group. Perhaps only the most essential representatives.
It was actually not bad because we're in their hall, right? So it makes sense to please them because...
I suppose there is some sense to that.
I mean, right?
I hope we meet again, Jara Ryder.
Oh god. Yeah, whatever. We lost you anyway. Who cares?
Spock and I will cover everything on the diplomatic front. You make nice with the locals and see if you can get some answers. We need to find out why the Hotari are so willing to risk war. What happened in those mines?
Boy, oh boy, finally, finally a little bit air to breathe. Oof. There's like really this like, oh wow, cool weapon though. Can I have that for my can I have that for my Star Trek Online run, please? Ooh, wow. Ooh, oh boy. It's so tense. They're absolutely right. Oh my goodness. There will be so many different endings, I guess, in this game. It's definitely worth to either play it yourself again, do some other choices, or I don't know, watch someone else if you don't want to buy it. But if you want to buy it, definitely make sure to use the epic creator code CapCollins, because that's so epic. I'm sorry, I have to spark that in here now and then, you know. It's my job.
Such rough terrain. No wonder the Hotari are so tough.
Oh, we're not talking to each... Okay, well, nice arms. Nice arms, bro. Strong arms.
Commander, I'm glad you've chosen to side with the Hotari. I knew the Federation would see through the Elydians' baseless claims and protect the interests of my people.
To be clear, I'm not on either side of this conflict. Our only interest is peace.
Peanut, this is going to YouTube.
I will keep that in mind.
In 30-minute chunks, so perfect to watch.
I assume you were there the day the mines were seized from the Elydians.
Not seized. Reclaimed.
It would be nice if someone could write that in chat.
To their rightful
I don't know if you can hear this.
I was there. We had to be decisive. Before the Elydians could even realize their worst nightmares upon them.
I'm curious why the Elydians haven't fought back. They have the ability to retake the mines anytime they want.
Ability is one thing. Courage is another. The Elydians know any hostile action on their part will not end well. They respect one thing above all else, and that is force. The greater the force, the more certain the outcome. Any talk of making peace is just that, and worth little without the strength to secure it. which makes me wonder about your ship, the Resolute. Undoubtedly the Federation's finest warship. Ready to contend with anything the Illydians might have in store. Or is that not true? Maybe I've misjudged it.
No need to worry. Even in a worst-case scenario, the fleet is always within reach.
But it would probably take them quite some time to get here.
Maybe. Or we might have other ships in the sector.
Of course.
You have to play strength
Sidron.
against them.
A pleasure meeting you, Commander.
Strength.
I'm sure we'll cross paths again.
Even if you don't have it, you play as if you have strength. Doesn't matter. Appreciate water.
Soothing.
I appreciated water. That's so good. That is a great idea. Okay, these guys... Wait, is that still one of those? Yeah, they like strength. So, strength.
Commander Rydek,
Strength.
I'm encouraged to see the Federation supporting my people. I'm afraid of what might happen without your help.
I'm glad to hear it. I just hope you're not the only one who feels that way.
I apologize for that. These are unusual times, to say the least. Much is changing. I saw you speaking with Sidron, our national hero. I'm curious, what did he say?
He seems to be of the opinion that negotiating for peace is a waste of time.
Because force is the only blunt instrument he understands. He's a miner, not a diplomat.
Okay, no, not that much strength. Not that much strength.
For the first time in our history, the Hotari have the upper hand. We see ourselves as strong instead of downtrodden. New voices have risen up. Old voices shouted down. Galvin and Sidron have become national heroes. Now, they have the Queen's ear. Better or worse, depending on your perspective.
I get the sense you don't exactly trust them.
I don't trust their instincts, which are leading us to war. My fear has been that the Illydians will launch an attack and crush us. You've seen their starship, no doubt. They could have retaken the mines whenever they wanted to, but it never happened.
Why?
And as strange as this may sound, I'd almost say they're afraid. I just don't know what they're afraid of. It's still the same bluster and bravado you would expect from them. But it has no teeth. Like they're afraid of what might happen.
Because of what happened in the mines. Is it Galvin they're afraid of?
It's entirely possible. But I don't know for sure. Whatever Galvin is doing in those mines is turning everything upside down. But no one knows exactly what's happening. Since the day of the revolt, Galvin has seized control of the mines and restricted all access. No one's allowed without his personal authorization. And they've taken over a section of the palace with just as much secrecy and security. I'm told it could be something they brought back from the mines. I've made inquiries, but everyone pretends it doesn't exist. I strongly suspect they're hiding something.
What do you think it is?
I've heard rumors it's some sort of ancient artifact, but I haven't seen it myself.
How can we know?
I'd better see what's happening.
Do you think you can find out what they're hiding? I need to see proof of something before I can make my case to the Federation.
I can try, but even if I found it, I might not know what to make of it.
Take this. You can use it to capture whatever you find, and then send it to me.
Wow.
Thank you. I will
Double agent.
let you know what I find. And I look forward to our meeting again.
sure she knows how
I couldn't
tricorder
help
works.
but notice you were speaking with the Hotari this whole time. I figured in the interest of fairness, I should offer another perspective.
Of course.
I'm probably not telling you anything you don't already know, but these negotiations rely on the Federation's neutrality, as does any hope you might have for a supply of dilithium in the future. So, why you would choose to side with the Hotari escapes me. Without a Lydian involvement, there is no dilithium trade. But clearly, you weren't aware.
Of all my concerns, dilithium is not one of them. I could care less about securing a supply, now or in the future.
I'd be curious to know if the rest of the Federation shares your indifference. Major Salit Arminta, Special Attaché, Lydian Armed Forces. Pleasure to meet you, Commander.
Seems like we have done something
my
good.
issues with the Hotari, but I have to give them some credit. They know how to seize an opportunity. Inciting an uprising the same day as a massive once-in-a-lifetime ion storm.
Our assumption was that this storm was just an anomaly.
Yes, a very convenient anomaly. At least that was what we were told. Of course, I wasn't there. But who am I to say otherwise?
Something tells me there's more to the story. So what really happened?
Well, the official story is that it was the storm that enabled the revolt. How else do a bunch of unarmed, unorganized miners seize control of an entire moon, much less thousands of mines? But I've talked to people who were there. They tell a different story. They say they're lucky to have escaped with their lives. That it was more than just the storm. That somehow the miners were able to harness the energy from the storm. I know it sounds crazy. I'm not even sure I believe it myself. But that's what they said.
You just answered your own question. How do a group of miners do something that in theory can't be done? That's how. Harnessing the storm.
But even if it's true, how does that even happen?
You tell me.
They found something.
If you'll excuse me, Commander.
A device or something. Deep down, where the Balrog lives, they awakened an ancient evil that unleashed a storm. Bran, I hope so. Wookie Mart, no, this released about 3 hours ago. Moonglow, good morning. And Charles, welcome on board. I like it. I got used to the controls and now it's actually good. Once you get used to the controls, and you have to play it with controller. 100% play it with a controller. Mouse and keyboard is just, I don't know. Not really feeling it. So, wait, is there more? Run! It's on Epic. It's only in the Epic Game Store. I guess they have a deal with Epic and they got some funds for development that way. I don't understand that, but okay. Your choice. And I don't want to discuss that. I think we're good. Stop running. There we go.
Well, that was a disaster.
What happened?
The Hotari refused to concede anything, so the Elydians stormed out.
The Hotari did not invite us here as peacekeepers. I hope your efforts were more fruitful than ours.
Gravitational harmonics failing to resolve. Warp bubble stability degrading. Increase output to maximum.
Wow.
Increasing warp output to maximum.
It's happening again.
It is evident that presently, the Resolute cannot achieve warp propulsion.
Since our diagnostics rule out any problems with our warp systems or anything about the ship, the problem appears to be the fabric of space itself.
Space itself? You're saying something about this region of space prevents warp travel?
Prevents it, or can't sustain it.
However improbable, that appears to be the case.
The storm didn't stop us from leaving space dock and traveling here. But could it still be causing this interference with warp travel?
We must follow sound investigatory principles. Do not let an assumed conclusion drive your analysis.
Sometimes we need a little inspired thinking, Mr. Chovak. Captain Solano is on his way back from the negotiations, and I want to have some answers for him when he gets here.
Indeed. Given the facts at hand, we may be able to deploy subspace probes around the ship to construct a clear picture of the phenomenon.
Around the ship. I'll prep a shuttle.
Do it! My least favorite shuttles of all. It's like a chunky boss. Very spacious though.
I'm setting up a waypoint at a distance roughly corresponding to the edge of our warp field. When we get there, I'll deploy the first probe.
Oh, oh god, flying shot. Haha! I'm the best pilot around here. Use R to fly forward, backward, turn and okay, that shouldn't be that bad. Oi, wee. Why is it so weird? Like, oh my goodness. Oh, this is really not the best way of doing
Commander
stuff.
Westbrook, the Resolute systems are calibrated to receive the probe's readings. We are standing by to reproduce the warp field collapse after the first probe is deployed.
Thank you, Mr. Chovak. We'll be in position shortly.
And, Mr. Diaz, do take care in piloting the shuttlecraft.
Yeah, yeah.
Now is not the time to indulge in the human penchant for joyriding.
Oopsie.
Chovak probably isn't such a fun guy to work for, huh?
Nah, Lieutenant Commander Chovak's not so bad. You know.
Why can't you fly straight?
And, I've learned a lot working under him.
I have a feeling I'm going to have to work harder to be a political animal like you. This new first officer coming aboard.
Where did that came from? Shoot. You just saw the rock underneath? Oh my god. Hey Morton. Morton. What are those original series sounds? What the heck? Yay, we did it.
This is far enough. Transporting the first probe into position.
Bleep bloop, I'm a robot.
Westbrook here. The first probe is deployed.
Understood. We are reading it. We are about to replay the simulation.
Oh, gravity and storm. I am.
Problem?
I just can't get a handle on her. Commander Rydek. She rejected my plan to use a deflector pulse against the storm surge. But on the other, she did listen to my advice and use the whole polarity trick to get you through that excursion alive. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with UXO. I'm sure she's a fine officer, even if we don't see eye to eye. But she didn't go through what the rest of us did. You know that. And it's hard to figure out why she'd be the one Solano chose instead of, well, one of us.
I'm trying to get into him.
I don't really know anything about Commander Rydek.
Yeah. Not many do.
but you're right. She's definitely an outsider.
Maybe that's what Solano wanted all along.
Test is running. Warp field collapse in 3, 2, 1, mark.
What was that?
Whoa. All right, that is definitely a problem with the fabric of space. We need to get another probe out there.
What, did they found Q or what is going on here?
With 2 points
Shattered
of data,
subspace.
the Resolute and the probe, we've
Sounds
managed to
about
get
right.
an interference pattern. I'm setting a waypoint to a particularly strong area of interference. We'll deploy the second probe there.
Everything but Q, please.
Listen, I'm gonna give you a piece of advice I wish someone had given me.
Oh god.
Make sure you're never just one thing. And don't get so focused on what's in front of your face that you lose sight of the big picture.
Too many asteroids.
Before Rydek showed up, the captain pulled me into his ready room and told me he didn't think I had the people skills to be first officer.
I guess he was right.
What a load of crap. I mean, if he'd said that about Chovak, sure.
I appreciate the advice, Commander. I'll make sure I keep my options open.
I don't need to tell you how to operate. You're already well on your way. You're a capable engineer. You're good in the field. Keep up the good work. And who knows? A solid jack of all departments like you could be Commander-in-Chief of Starfleet one day.
Can I just focus a little bit on flying?
Jellicoe started as a shuttle pilot. And there are places to go in the enlisted ranks too.
I love it. So put me up for promotion. I'm ready for my next challenge.
Well, I think you're going to have to prove that to your boss, Chovak, first. He's the one who has to put you up for consideration. If I were first officer, it would be different.
Well, then I'll just have to change Commander Chovak's mind. I'll work hard and better, and he won't be able to ignore it.
You've got grit. I'll give you that.
Yeah, he didn't like that. But at least it was neutral.
Here. This is close enough. Stop the engines. Deploying the probe. Westbrook to Commander Chovak. We're ready for another sampling of data.
Very good. Running the simulation again. Warp field collapse in 3, 2, 1. Mark.
There it is again.
I saw it. It seems to be directional.
But what about the scans? Anything?
Here's the readings in relation to our local space. We've got the Resolute, Otari Prime, and the probes.
All this interference is overloading the sensor buffers. We're gonna have to triangulate the sensors manually.
Really? 14 hours? Ooh, what's that?
We got something.
These markers indicate peaks in the gravimetric interference patterns.
Let's see if I can find some more.
Who are you? Has to be around that planet somewhere. Yeah, there.
Hold up. This is coming from the moon.
A beam that blocks warp travel.
Aimed right at us.
Someone is doing this intentionally. I don't know how they're doing it. This is like nothing I've ever seen.
Why would they be doing this? We came here to help these people. And now we're getting hit by some warp-killing weapon?
Now, look here. It's current readings of the ion storm.
These concentrations, they line up with the interference pattern. The storm and this beam, they're coming from the same place.
Carter, whatever petty local conflict brought us here, it's just a small part of something much bigger.
The Dominion. The Cardassians. The
Don't have
Kardashians.
an explanation for how they're doing this. One thing is clear. This is no fluke.
Thank you, Mr. Westbrook. I want a full briefing when I'm back on board. Solano out.
It's always Romulans.
Targeted weapon that inhibits warp travel. Coming from the moon Tau.
That would explain the difficulties my shuttle encountered. More importantly, the tenor of the Hotari during the negotiations.
And here I thought the Illidians would be the problem. Coming to peace talks in a warship. This wasn't supposed to be so complicated.
For all their posturing, every indication is that the Illidians are afraid of the Hotari. They didn't bring their warship as a threat. They brought it because they're scared.
From everything we witnessed, I would say that is highly likely.
But what are they afraid of?
Tylus, the Hotari representative, said she thought they found something in the mines. Galvin and Sidron brought it back to the palace, but they're keeping it under tight security. She's going to investigate it. I gave her my tricorder. I expect she'll contact us soon.
You found an ally.
Why would Tylus help us? Go behind her people's back? It's a fair question, considering.
Out of all of them, she's the one who seemed to genuinely appreciate that the Federation was involved. She believes in us, and I think we can believe in her.
That may be true.
She's certainly more likely to help than the other Hotari we've met.
That raises another question. Specifically, what do the other Hotari have to gain in bringing us here, only to make this hostile maneuver against us? There must be some motivation.
Unless they changed their minds between when they asked and when we got here.
Given their indifference to the negotiations, and what we now know about this warp-disrupting weapon, it's almost as if they want to start a war. And Sidron was convinced the only thing the Illidians respect is force.
I would say he's right about that. But at least they know when to hold back.
But that does not explain why they would turn their aggressions against us.
I don't think the Illidians know what's really down on that moon either.
Romulans.
Arminta said the revolt defied
makes more and more sense.
That the Hotari miners somehow harness the energy of the storm.
Harness the energy of the storm?
Doing that is beyond even our capabilities.
So is a weapon that disrupts warp travel.
There have been civilizations and entities, both past and present, far more technologically advanced than the Federation.
The Illidians and Hotari don't fall into that category.
But that is all the more reason to investigate further.
Commander Rydek, sorry to interrupt. We've received an urgent call from Hotari. The Queen's advisor, Tylus, has asked to speak with you.
Put her through.
Galvin and Sidron are still with the Queen. I've enlisted help to gain access to the room they have under guard. I don't have much time.
Oh god, that graphic is like from 2005.
For a moment. I so appreciate your help.
Looks like
I found something.
Elite Force 2.
Got it. Tylus, if we needed to gain access to the mines on Tau, is that something you could help us with?
I suppose it wouldn't be easy, but I have to go.
Tylus.
Can we reconnect?
Thank you, Taya, yeah.
Sorry, Captain. We've lost all contact.
We can only hope she escaped without harm.
It was hard to tell.
Tylus wouldn't have offered to help if she didn't know what she was doing.
That's a lot of faith in someone we barely know. Let's see the scan of whatever the hell that was.
Oh, he likes that.
Tylus suspects this came from the mines on Tau.
It appears to be of ancient origin, but the markings are unfamiliar.
We can run a full analysis when we get back to the Resolute. But if this came from the mines, then it might be the key to how they got the upper hand against the Illidians.
Then we have to go into the mines.
The Federation would not allow that. We were, after all, sent here to be a neutral party in a peace negotiation. However,
yeah, I guess
we could demonstrate that
I guess we passed that.
Have acted in bad faith, which would enable us to investigate the mines on Tau with full justification. But of course, we would need conclusive proof before taking action. Otherwise, it could put us in a difficult position.
If this warp disruption attack isn't enough justification, I don't know what is. We have every right to defend ourselves.
In due time.
I don't want to escalate this without a better idea of what we're getting into.
We may have a better understanding once we analyze the device. But a mission to the mines, covert or otherwise, is not
will not like that
question. And I will handle the Federation.
Next time on Star Trek Resurgence. Oh, what's that?
What's this?
Some kind of crystal formation?
The design and composition indicate this is a glyph associated with the ancient Khan Empire. Their civilization collapsed over 600,000 years ago, but once spanned millions of systems with a population numbering in the trillions.
Fascinating.
Oh no.
Hello? Hey!
Get her!
Miranda? I saw your shuttle take off. Hopefully no one else did. It's good to see you.